You are a powerful being. There is a giant power within every single one of us that we can bring to whatever it is that we do. The missing conversation in personal growth and personal development often is our being. Now, what do we mean by our being? Well, think of being as who we are. Think of doing as what we do. And think of having as the result that we get. With being giant, what we're doing is we're bringing in the missing conversation, but we're saying it's the beginning of who we are, what we do, and what we have. Because who we are being in any moment determines what's possible. Now, many people would think, well, it's what I do determines what's possible. Well, just think about this. And this is a question that we ask a lot, which is who is doing the doing? Now, an example of this would be, and I train people to facilitate, two people with the same set of instructions, the same set of questions, wanting the same result with a group, and one achieves it effortlessly and another person doesn't have that same impact. Now, what's the difference? They both did the same thing. They both wanted to get the same result, but someone was approaching this with an attitude of X and someone else is approaching it with an attitude of Y. Where do those attitudes, that way of being, come from? It comes from who we are being in any one moment. And so what we know is that the way we choose to be comes from our way of operating. And our way of operating is our way of being. So you're a system and you're behaving a certain way. And the system that you are is generating the results that you are generating. The minute we want to shift our result, we have to shift who we're being, and who we're being can alter what we're capable of doing. So when we talk about this is what we need to do, that is this realm. There's something logically here that we need to do. But who is doing that doing? In being giant, what we're noticing is the beingness that we bring, which has a magnitude, that has a stature, that has a power. Imagine how you do things when you're angry. Imagine how you do things when you're full of joy. They're very different energies that we bring to whatever it is that we are doing. So what we say in being giant and what we begin to work with is that our beingness, bringing more of who we are to what we do, the very essence of who we are to what we do, is primary. And the doing flows from that. Our doing is secondary. Doesn't mean it's not important. It's just that the power of who you are brought to the capability of what you can do means that you will have the results that you really do want to have. In being giant, as we bring attention to being, and we bring our attention to who we are and who we are being in the world, we're bringing the missing piece. Now, why haven't we focused more on being in the past? Because this is our evolution. This is the evolution of personal growth and development, where our doingness, we develop this way through time. I'm developing my skills. I'm doing things. I'm getting more proficient. I'm getting more productive. And that's what we have been rewarded for. The beingness that we are, the essential nature of who we are, bringing that forth and doing what we do from that place brings a dimension that we haven't really paid attention to in society, in culture. And this is a missing piece. When we experience that authentic way of being and we are energized by that, It is very, very different to the feeling of being drained when we are being inauthentic and just doing what we think is expected of us. It's a very different dynamic. So we learn to fit in and we need to operate in the world. This is about taking us beyond that, elevating the conversation to say, I am operating in the world, let's be practical. And I'm being me in the world, and I'm bringing my being to whatever it is that I am doing. One of the reasons we talk about the giant power of being is that we know there is power in our being. When we describe it as a giant power, it's because there is a magnitude of who we are that we're not yet bringing to what we do. There is a giant power within every single one of us that we can bring to whatever it is that we do. And when we do that, we notice somebody can say something and it has very little impact on us. Somebody else could say the same thing and it has a very significant impact on us. What's the difference? The difference is in who is saying those words, who is sharing that wisdom. It's very, very different. I think we can all relate to the energy that other people, different people can bring to anything that they do. Being giant is going to help us access the giant power that resides within. This is in your very being. It needs to be activated. There's nothing that needs to be fixed. There's only something within you, the power of your being, that can be activated so that you can bring that to what you do and have the impact in the world that you want to have.